Number one, Ibble Dibble here. Hello, friends. So, in my previous 3 videos about why Megan's brand sucks, I outlined the 3 loose sociological factors that would make it really, really difficult for anyone in Megan's position to market the Duchess of Sussex title. I nicknamed those factors the British factor, the female factor, and the foreign factor. They deal with long-standing cultural prerogatives that I believe will impede sales. If you haven't seen those, they're linked in the cards above and the description box below. Please comment, share, and subscribe. While I did reference a couple of Megan's personal missteps, my focus there was mainly on the external. In this video, I want to give you 6 reasons why Megan personally can serve as neither owner, operator, steward, nor self-iterative muse influencer face of a consumer goods company. We all know she is a nutty narcissist, but we also know there are plenty of CEOs that are equally as bad or maybe even worse than she is. So why do I believe she will fail while they succeed? There's overlap between these problems and subsets of these problems, of course. There's really nothing our Megan can do. Let me know in the comments below if you feel I've missed something vital. In my opinion, she is flawed in 6 ways that will cause this to fail no matter what she tries to sell. Number 1, taste level. Number 2, very little likability. Number 3, no connections to speak of. Number 4, psychosocial hangups that I'll elaborate on in its whole own video, but will summarize here. Number 5, she's a fuddy-duddy. And number 6, she's lazy. I think this will be another 3-video cycle. You know, I'm the context queen. So in this video, I'm only dealing with points 1 and 2. If you want to be sure to catch parts 2 and 3, make sure you're subscribed and that your notification bell is on. I've been told by many people that my channel is shadow banned. Number 1, questionable taste. No one really wants to look like Megan. I've done a bunch of videos on why she dresses the way she does and why it doesn't look great. Again, I'll throw up the most popular ones in the cards above and the description box below. But what it comes down to is nothing ever fits, nothing ever flatters. Clothes are usually overpriced basics. Jewelry and accessories are entry-level flash. Nothing she wears demonstrates a unique eye or philosophy or even appreciation for savoir-faire in any given category. On the rare occasion she looks all right, she is dressed inappropriately for the venue or occasion. Her style reads as extremely contrived, but falls short nonetheless, as opposed to the effortless, experimental looks we expect from influencers. She simply hasn't made a name for herself as a tastemaker in fashion, despite throwing a lot of money at it for several years, so I don't see it happening anytime soon, unless she completely surrenders her wardrobe to someone sophisticated and competent. And that's just clothes and jewelry and stuff. She has filed for over 150 trademarks on everything you could think of, from cosmetics to birdseed to pots and pans to dog food. We've only seen professionals do her makeup, so why, in a world where YouTube is full of professionals and celebrities competently doing their own makeup on camera, including people who are far more likable and popular and already have extremely successful cosmetics lines like Trini Woodall and Victoria Beckham, why would anyone buy from Megan? We've also heard Megan profess herself as a foodie again and again, but she obviously hasn't eaten in 6 months, and we've never seen her cook or heard anyone compliment her cooking. In fact, if you say to me, Meghan Markle food go, the first associations that spring to my mind are Ozempic, wine, slept with Harry in her cook ex-boyfriend's kitchen because she didn't know his mom was in the other room, backpacks of crackers for the homeless, pop chips in the car, In-N-Out, milkshakes, roasted chicken, proposal. That's it. That's all that springs to mind. We never even saw her kitchen in her reality show because they insisted on filming it like a news interview in a rented mansion. We can all buy a rotisserie chicken at any supermarket, so I just don't see why she thinks anyone would watch her cooking show, buy her cooking stuff, or anything like that. Speaking of the Beckhams, it's not that easy. Baby Brooklyn has failed to launch as a celebrity chef, and he's had literally every advantage in the world. Extremely successful, famous, wealthy parents, family friends in Jamie Oliver and Gordon Ramsay, an heiress to billions for a bride whose father owns supermarkets and restaurant chains. Unlike Meghan, he actually gets invited to the Met Ball, and he still couldn't do it. What makes her think she can? To use the dogs as another example, the only thing we knew about the dogs from the media was that she abandoned one in Canada because it didn't warm sufficiently quickly to Harry. We're supposed to believe it was left with friends, but no one has ever claimed or shown the dog, making us think, did she put it to sleep? Did she leave it at a shelter anonymously? And now she wants to sell us dog stuff? Dog food, dog toys, dog clothes? She lacks sophistication, expertise, competence. She clearly lacks sense. But more than anything else, it's all in such poor taste. Point two, Meghan is unpopular and has low and dropping approval ratings. Approval ratings are calculated for celebrities every 6 months or after a big reputation changing scenario. Meghan's approval ratings have been dropping literally ever since she left the royal family. It's a guaranteed headline for reporters. They can set their watch to it. No matter what happens, they will always be able to pump out another copy-paste article about Meghan's approval ratings plummeting. According to data out last week, 64% of Brits admit to holding actively negative feelings towards her, while in the US, 57% of millennials either don't like her or don't care about her, as do 71% of Gen Xers and 73% of baby boomers. In 1621's The Anatomy of Melancholy, Robert Burton wrote that ignorance is the mother of devotion. Truer words could never be said about our Megsy and her sugars. Meghan is deeply polarizing, and that's why she can't get work representing brands she doesn't own. It's hard for me to think of a contentious issue she hasn't aggressively spouted off about. Racism, immigration, royalty, feminism, DEI, censorship, mental illness, gun ownership. Tignanello. She has a hot take on everything. Meghan and her team seem to think that the more virtue signaling she does, the more people will presume her virtuous and therefore like her. And that tells me her PR has been delegated to the interns, or her reps strongly personally dislike her on a granular level. Because this is a completely amateur miscalculation. Likability is not doing things you like or think other people like so they will like you. Likability is fastidiously maintaining unobjectionability, if you will. That's not a real word, but you know what I mean. If you have an actual synonym, please put it in the comments below. I'm also open to non-English terms. The moment you discuss anything you shouldn't discuss over Christmas dinner, right or wrong, you become less likable. The only thing almost likable about Meghan's whole shtick is it's so chaotic, yet reliably produces epic failures. It's really got that train wreck quality. And I think people could actually relate to that if it was presented more palatably. Unfortunately, that kind of redemption is way above the skill level and or pay grade of whoever her people are. It's frankly wild to me that she shelled out so much money for PR, management, agency, and no one told her that if she wanted an LVMH or Kering deal, the right time to start kissing French billionaire ass was before the Oprah interview, not after. If you want a multi-year luxury brand ambassadorship contract and the accompanying fat paycheck, you need to play by their rules. Polarizing figures with low familiarity and very high niche creative appeal can get short-term promo work, but Meghan Markle is not Anh Duong or Marina Abramovich. Polarizing figures with high familiarity, like the Kardashians, Chrissy Teigen, Gwyneth Paltrow, even Martha Stewart, need to create their own companies. And that's fine if you have social proof. My mind remains boggled at the hundreds of millions of people who care about the Kardashians, buy all their junk and made them billionaires. Same with Gwynnie. That is a business that should not have worked, but it did. In contrast, Celebrities who never bothered to cultivate social media followings, or worse, pretended they were too good for social media, have gotten bitten in the ass when they became very polarizing figures before building big enough followings. Angelina Jolie is a great example of this. I think it took her a decade to look up from her nasty divorce and realize Louis Vuitton, St. John, Mac, Guerlain, etc. weren't calling anymore. She launched her Insta in 2021 with text-heavy posts promoting herself as a humanitarian, and now, even despite a capsule collection with Chloe, her label, Atelier Jolie, is kinda a flop. And Angie's got 15.2 million followers. Megan can't even crack 600,000. By the way, no hate to Angelina and her efforts. I find her efforts serious and sincere, and don't mind that she's a flawed individual as we all are. But this is a video about branding and selling stuff. Anyway, in her eagerness to conflate average people who rationally and fairly criticize her with knuckle-dragging Nazis and simultaneous, extensive, equally disingenuous efforts to cast herself as a super brilliant woke biracial social justice warrior victim, Megan's left no room in the middle for potential customers to see themselves in. People don't identify with extremism, and beyond absolute necessity, people only buy from brands they do identify with. You can't like or dislike Meghan Markle just a little. She's made sure of that. You can't be blissfully unaware of Meghan Markle. She's made sure of that. She's made sure that there will be no one who kind of likes her and buys from her out of curiosity, and no one who doesn't really like her but thought the color of her thermos or whatever was cuter than the other one on the shelf. She's created a situation where even people who really like her are incentivized to like her secretly, not publicly, because she's so controversial. And that again is just not conducive to sales. No one wants to have a conversation about her with the checkout lady or their coworkers. Very few are willing to post about her on X or TikTok or Insta and get questioned or mocked. As the Silicon Valley branding legend Marty Neumeier says, a brand is not what you think it is. A brand is what potential customers say it is. Companies used to create brands that would attract customers. Nowadays, companies create customers to sustain their brands. Megan has not created customers. She's unwittingly done everything in her power to drive as many as possible away. Okay, that's my little rant for today. See you in part 2. Toodles! Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.